Hey guys, what's up? Arnie here, and today we're going to be doing a video on an upcoming player, Ryan Mehalic. And, sorry, that's paper. But you see, Ryan, he's been doing pretty well. He is like beating everyone who challenges him, and you might be wondering, well, how is he beating everyone? Isn't Dartling glue like a bad strategy? Well, let's see. So Tilted going NFE, and Ryan going Dartling glue. So they both start off the match with anti-stall. That's pretty basic. They both just go to their eco numbers. Tilton gets up his second engine. Ryan Mehalic is going for an aggressive start because he's going to get more eco out of it. And Dartling is just way too good early game anyway. So you can afford like being super duper aggressive. I think he immediately went for his darts there. Stronger darts, I don't know. Tilted gets his plant round 5. That's really good for Tilted. Yeah, start of round 5. Ryan did not get a start of round 5. So if I was Tilted, right here, it's a big mistake going for your farm, because even though you can afford it, your opponent has a lot of money for the next farm. You went for your farm first, so they technically have less money. The best thing to do would probably be to like be a little bit aggressive back, or instead just get up some defense instead, because you have more money than your opponent right here. You went for your farm a lot earlier. Would have been best to play aggressive back. And if you look throughout the series of Tilted versus Ryan, you notice that Tilted, he just lets Ryan walk all over him all the time. Like on the inlets game, Tilted made a bunch of mistakes, and Ryan just punished him for it a lot. And Tilted did not punish Ryan for his mistakes. And Tilted uses all 3 spikes on greens. That's not a smart play, but for Ryan, it's really good. So you see, Ryan cut up in farms. See, Tilted, and then Tilted decides to farm. So that wasn't very smart, because you see, Ryan, he has an eco lead, and Tilted has a farm lead. So if you have a farm lead and your opponent has an eco lead, you want to shorten the gap a little bit. And grouped balloons are also amazing versus just Dartling. So it's very ill-advised to go for a plant here. And as you can see, Tilted was not being aggressive like at all. And Ryan is just going to walk all over him and send him yellows again. And Ryan's just under defending over there so much. He should have a second Dartling by now, but Tilted is not forcing anything. Yep, it's pretty basic gameplay. I think Tilted put his a bit too close, but I'm not really one to judge. And right here, this is Tilted's infamous play of the week. He goes for the most infamous play of this week, I would say. He goes for a flash bomb for whites. I don't really need to tell you why this is a bad idea, because most of you know, but I will reiterate what I think anyway. A flash bomb, ninjas aren't good against grouped balloons. NGs, although they aren't really that great at them either, NGs are just better. You could have done a bunch of things. It probably would have been best to just boost. And this is why you need to get your balloon trap at the start of round 11, so this doesn't happen to you. If you play aggressive back to your opponent's gonna have less money, and it's gonna be more even. Yep, he gets up his balloon trap, pretty normal. However, I don't really like his spot. I think a much better spot would have been the anti-layering spot, which is on the top right bend. Why I say that is because he has no spikes, and it's just best to use the anti-layering spot if you don't have any spikes. for like rainbows, because you can just get drained. And as you'll see up next, Ryan is going to go for a Rainbow Rush. Tilted just forced a boost, he can't really do anything. That's why I used the anti-layering spot. It's a lot better versus grouped balloons. So Ryan Mehalic, look at him. Tilted has not forced anything over there. Yet they're even at farms, but Ryan has like 300 more eco. Because he isn't forcing anything on Ryan's side. What's going through Tilted's mind, I can probably tell you. He's thinking, if I play passive, if I play passive, I'm gonna win, because, and if he does outlast Dartling Glue, but they're technically both drain strats. If you're not draining your opponent and your opponent's draining you, then like it's pretty obvious that you're pretty favored to lose. Round 15. Hold on, let me check if I'm recording. Yeah. He sends a Camo Rush against the anti-camo spot. And I agree with Tilted. It's not smart to send camos against anti-camo rushes, at least not until round 16, or rounds where the RBE can get more than, 250. So Tilted finally sent something, and that actually, you see, it shortened his lead a little bit, although he still has a pretty big lead. So Ryan sends a Moab, and he sends 3 Camo Leads. Now this is just a side note, but you only need to send 2, because Tilted has no spikes. He's forced to get up the flash bomb anyway. So you could have just sent 2 or even 1. Because he has no spikes, he used them all around 6. So Tilted gets up defense, sells the farm. Ryan sent camos. It's camo grouped balloons, which isn't really smart. If he wanted the camo leads to get through, the Moab just destroys the cleansing foam. Tilted just boosts and he's fine. But you notice he only has 1 boost left, so he has to play a little carefully. There's a little eco. It's like troll kind of eco. And Ryan Mehalic just all outs. And Tilted, he actually plays this pretty well. He almost defends, actually. But he goes down first. And yeah, it's just, if you don't rush back Dartling Glue, you're just going to get walked all over, and you're going to lose the game most likely. Alright, let's go on to another game. Follow Ryan Mehalic. Hey guys, so we're on to another game. This one Ryan actually suggested to me himself. It's Ryan versus Troll, and because Ryan recommended it, he definitely won. Let's just put it at that. So, Troll, he goes Heli from Ice, obviously. It's a very nice Heli from Ice map. It's like one of the best ones for Heli Ice, I think. And as you can see, Ryan is going Glue. So let's see if Dartling Glue is able to drain a strategy that's designed to not be drained by anything. So Ryan, he immediately anti-stalls. Troll, he goes for a Heli start. He sends balloons. He gets his farm up soon. 257. If you're a Heli player, you should know equal numbers like Troll does. It's Troll using Heli Micro. So you see, he placed down his ice. And he's not going to struggle at all because it stalls. It's kind of like a better chipper. You can see, Troll is sending. He's going to get his farm up. Round 5. So he's playing pretty aggressive considering he's going Heli Ice. As you can see, he's buying up some upgrades on his ice as the balloons are getting slower. He buys snap freeze. Yep, pretty smart plays. Ryan is under defending, but unlike Tilted, Troll can't really punish him. He's going Heli Ice. It's a pretty passive strategy. But he's playing pretty aggressive with it, I would say. You can get up in next farm. Ice Shredding just shreds through it all. Yeah, you know, no issues here. Troll's leaking a bit, but that's okay. Gets up the Razor Rotors, and he stalls. He uses really good strategy. He puts his heli at the front, so it shreds through the layers. And if you look at farms, they're pretty even, but if you look at eco, always the drain strategies can have more eco. Troll, pretty good heli micro there. Doesn't get drained. The ice shred, and then he boosts, and he forces the powerful darts upgrade. And he links down to 14 lives. So let's look at the position right now. Ryan has a lot of eco, but Troll has a bunch of farms. He's doing a pretty good job, I would say. Alright. Round 15. Ryan chooses to farm this round. Round 16, he's gonna rush. Tilted is just gonna ice shred through it all. So yep, pretty easy round 16 BIA by Troll. Ryan, he realizes, hey, I have to make a play. I have to force a boost, and I have to force a re-rush. And he sends a huge rush, like 3k rush. And you see, he boosts to it. Pretty typical. Then he re-rushes with the Moab, and Troll gets 3 Razor Rotors. And it's still not enough. He has to ice stall. Maybe he didn't need to, but he did it just to play safe. Then Troll decides, I'm going to be aggressive back. So Ryan has to boost this. And you see, Troll is being the aggressor here because look at Troll's farms and look at Ryan's farms. Troll is up so much in farms that it benefits him trying to drain the drain strategy more than it benefits Ryan to try and drain the anti-drain strategy, if that makes any sense. So let's see. See, Ryan's going to send a BFB too. See, Ryan's really low on money. He has like $3 to spare. 600 to spare, but Troll sends another BFB. And he all outs here. Because... And I think that was his big mistake, because right here, Ryan Mehalic's just going to defend it with, because really the BFB layer is the only issue when going Dartling glue. See, till it stalls, he tries to counter, and then Ryan Mehalic does a double counter. And yeah, so Ryan Mehalic played that once again pretty good. Although Troll could have played a little bit better there, I think. Bit too aggressive, probably. But, right, let's move on to another game where we see Ryan as the player of the week. Alright, well, this is once again against Tilted, and Tilted is going Dart Whiz. I'm pretty famous, or rather infamous, for my Dart Whiz in my claims about Dart Whiz, so... However, I have done extensive research on Dart early game, and versus boat and versus other stuff. And granted, it's in Ryan's favor, but don't tell anyone that I said Dart Whiz loses, okay? Don't tell anyone I told you that. Alright, let's get started. So Tilted is, you see Ryan Mehalic, he did an anti-stall. That's a really big issue. It's better to anti-stall every single time. See, 253. Goes for a dart spot. And one thing you'll see throughout this game is that Tilted just aggroes. He full-on aggroes. And Ryan just doesn't punish it. But we'll see how the game turns out for Ryan. Yeah, he sends some pinks, forces some defense. And Ryan got his plan to start of round 5. Very nice. So he could probably rush Tilted right here, but he instead goes for a farm and lets Tilted just force his defense. It would have been smarter to send greens at him probably. And Tilted, here he sends this little green rush just to bait the mortar. Goes for his farm. And you'll notice how, oh, here we go. Ryan actually rushes here, forces defense. Yeah, he's just forcing defense. He isn't playing really that much aggro back. And Tilted, he is just aggroing again when down in farms and up in eco. It's very weird. And he sends a lead, and it's kind of ape brain to send a lead versus Bernie stuff already. See, he goes for his, what do you call it? Destroyer. Yep. Sends a camo lead just to force it. Although I think camo pinks are a little bit better. And then he aggroes. One could say it's smart, one could say it's not smart, but personally with my Dart Wiz experience, I would say it's pretty ill-advised. Because you're just gonna... He's gonna counter, probably. And he tells us gonna be forced to boost, and then he can just allow it. So let's see. Now Ryan's gonna counter. He boosted for some reason. He said oops. He probably didn't have to boost that. And you see Ryan sends a region rainbow. Tilted sells everything. But look at Ryan's side. Ryan hasn't sold anything. So if you see Ryan selling farms, you should probably sell your farms too and get ready. But it's just not really that smart to just sell everything when your opponent hasn't even sold one thing. The Super Monkey fan clubs it. Pretty funny. And he's down in farms, and he starts to send more balloons towards Ryan. Now this is when it gets to from debatably wrong to just objectively wrong. He is down at farms, and he's sending rushes at Ryan down. These are basically called choke rushes, because Ryan right now is outplaying. Of course, Ryan just boosts to it. Pretty smart. He knows that Tilted has 0 money. What's he gonna do? All out him? Gets another mortar just in case. You see? And Tilted, he's in a bad position. He should probably... And he sends a Moab. So look, he's down in farms, and he sends a Moab. That's not how the game works. And he only gets 4 triple darts. That's not going to defend a Moab even with a Tornado Wizard. He sells a triple dart, which makes me wonder why he bought it in the first place. Ryan didn't even send anything. Of course, Ryan defends this. Now Tilted has 700 eco on Ghostly Coast with 1 plant. See, Ryan is just letting this all happen. He's just playing passive, which isn't really smart. He should have just forced defense and stuff, but he did, so it's pretty good. Got some eco for some defense. So nothing big is happening here. Just, let's look. Ryan is outplaying, because even though Tilted has 300 more eco, Ryan has something really good. He has more farms. That means he can sell more stuff if he needs to. And you see, round 22. And Tilted goes for a Dragon's Breath. I don't know why. And most people go for Dragon's Breath. But what you really want, you want a Jug. And you want a Tornado Wizard. Because the Tornado Wiz pushes the ceramics back. And the Jug gets rid of all the layers that your opponent could also be sending. So let's see, he gets so much defense, then he boosts. And he gets his farm back up. So he sees BFBs, and he decides to counter. And it's a very, very stupid counter, and I don't need to explain why. Mortar stall is really cheap. It's not that expensive. It's not like super vac, but yeah, there we go. That's it. Tilted lost because he played too aggressive when down in farms. And Ryan also made some mistakes. But at the end, he pulled it together and he beat Tilted there. And it's going to be the end of this video. And that's why Ryan Mehalic is the player of the week. He shows enough consistency to win. And although he doesn't really make all the right choices all the time, he definitely beats the top players. So that's going to be all for this video. If you enjoyed, like and subscribe. And peace.